I was so excited to talk about the trades that I actually went live without going live. So this is actually the second go around, but luckily we caught it early enough. I was just so excited to jump on because there were so many trades today, and I did not expect this many to be made in volume. I thought there'd be like one or two big names being moved. There's a laundry list of names here. I wasn't expecting that, and then like there were some people that I thought like for sure wouldn't be that involved. I kind of thought the Jerry Jones stuff was somewhat real. He was, kind of flirting or hinting at the idea last night. But Jerry has a way of like overselling things a lot, and getting Wilson from the Cincinnati Bengals, for example, is actually a big move. I thought like I actually like some of his moves. The recommitment to Aaron Glenn in the Jets, but also like loading up on first round picks, but then taking a chance on a potentially fast and uber talented guy like AD Mitchell when you're obviously a room that needs wide receivers, especially young ones with some speed, because they have some like possession receivers. So I do think there was some fantasy impacts being made. Obviously this list is the full trade list of the last 2 months, but there's a lot more names on this list than I thought. And of course it includes some defensive names, so that doesn't have as much fantasy impact. But
no, it does. It does have a big one.
Fair enough.
Dallas got a lot better defensively. Like, I know it's games, but that's a lot better than what they've had.
Yeah. That's kind of what I let off with, too. I just assumed Jerry Jones was kind of giving us the popcorn and he was going to oversell it. Wilson is actually a really good move, and they definitely needed some help on their back end. My initial thought was, like, I like what the Colts have done this season to get where they are. They have a lot of belief, and you really believe in yourself when you trade all those picks away. Now, what I like about it is they didn't just like kind of do it, or they didn't just like give away a couple picks. They're like, no, if we're gonna go all in and get rid of picks, we're gonna full stop do it. Like we're gonna just not care about those picks at all. That's actually what I like the most. They didn't tempt the water or like we're gonna dip our toe in. They went all the way in. So I like those moves. What was your initial thoughts, Donnie?
Yeah, the Colts scare me. Not for the future. You gave up your picks. Daniel Jones is not under contract, and you don't like Anthony Richardson clearly. What is your future? They're telling us Daniel Jones is the future. I guess they're buying into Daniel Jones. I don't like that stock. That is a sell stock if I've ever seen one.
But I will say and I know we disagree on this slightly. You know that because we've been friends a long time. But you've always valued picks way more than I have. I think you value
quarterback more than everything, and you don't have your quarterback.
True, but you don't need a first-round pick to get your quarterback.
Not generally, but most of the top guys in the league are first-round picks. There's a reason.
That's not how they got Daniel Jones or how Cincinnati got Joe Flacco. I'm just saying there's other ways.
Yeah, but we know they're stealing with Daniel Jones, I think.
Maybe not. Gov, I can see the problem.
That he can do it at a perfect level when the team isn't perfect behind it. He showed us this week what he can be. He can be New York Daniel Jones still. So it's not that you went all in. You went all in after you signed the Daniel Jones experience.
See, I like that even more though. They're like, we're not even going to try to dress this up like it's They're basically saying that loss was a fluke. They're like saying, hey, don't worry, we're so good. I like that.
I hope 6 turnovers is a fluke. I hope so.
I mean, is it? It does sound Daniel Jones-ish. I will give you that.
But to be fair, Taylor also looked very bad in that game. All credit to
that might have just been Indy's off game.
Right.
Which they'll probably have one of those in the playoffs. But if you get a Sauce Gardner, now that game you can keep that game closer when you're playing inefficient.
But, yeah, if Taylor looked bad and Daniel Jones looked awful, is that just what happens when Taylor looks bad? Does Daniel Jones look awful? That's the question.
To be fair, that has looked bad all year, and that offense is carried. Now, offense finally had a bad day, and everyone's ready to jump off. I actually think that
I've never been on this 7-2 train. I'm not ready to. I'm not like they'll win the division. They'll be fine, but they're not a Super Bowl contender. It's a fun
I don't
story.
know.
They're cute. They're cute.
They have a very solid offense that, like, as long as Daniel Jones doesn't screw it up, should work. Now, it is built on the run game, and if the run game isn't going, and you need Daniel Jones to win you a game, now it comes down to, like, it wouldn't matter if he were New York Daniel Jones or not. Do you trust Daniel Jones to go out there and win you a game? Even right now, I agree with you. I don't. Even with what I've seen, I don't trust that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he can run this offense perfectly so far.
And
literally perfectly through the first 2 weeks. And then, like, a few stumbles. But, like, this last game was, like, probably their worst thing. Now they'll know what they need to adjust to in their bad game.
But my only pushback, if you believe Daniel Jones, that's the guy, fine. But why is he not paid yet? Why does he not have his extension?
Well, there's no reason to do it right now.
There's no reason to do it right now.
And the longer you wait, the higher that price goes, unless he sucks. But if you trade,
if he wins a Super Bowl and you have to give him $50 million, he won you a Super Bowl. He deserves the $50 million.
Yes,
$50 million might be the mark if he makes the AFC Championship. To be honest, and that would be sickening.
He might get the 45, 50 a year that the quarterbacks are getting. You are not wrong.
That would be sickening if you could have had him for 30 in October.
I don't think so. I think you roll the dice.
I see. I wouldn't roll the dice on Daniel Jones being my future period.
Yeah, that's clear. But it does remind me.
He is, but that, we're talking about the franchise quarterback of this team. That's what you're going to have to pay Daniel Jones as. Unless, like, Anthony Richardson's the guy you actually believe in. And
it's
that's why.
Similar to a young Lions team. I mean, that's what we did. We brought in Jared Goff. The Rams had kind of given up on him. No one knew what he was. They knew he was better than the bottom tier, but no one put him in the elite tier. You know, Holmes made him earn it. I see very similar.
I disagree. I loved Goff going to the Lions from the start. Goff was a winner before that. Goff had won.
I mean, you believed in it, but I mean, it's kind of that same mindset where the Lions didn't even believe in it because they didn't give it to him until he had basically done what Daniel Jones did. So I'm kind of with Gov here. If
he had a couple of years on his deal. It wasn't a 1-year contract.
Sure.
It's different when you're an expiring deal.
I don't know. Is there going to be a team that competes with Daniel Jones? Maybe, but I think the Colts will still be the front runner. I don't think he'd want to leave a team after establishing himself.
Yeah, no, he would definitely be more willing to stay with the Colts. But the Colts are going to have to pay him the right amount, depending on what he does.
But they'll have to pay someone anyway.
And a good agent would be asking for that 45-50, even if they just get to the AFC title.
Yeah.
As long as they don't look awful because of Daniel Jones in the AFC title game.
Yeah. And this is another trade the Eagles made, getting Phillips. I think that, Donnie talked about how defenses matter. The Eagles get another one on their defensive line. That should help a lot with some of the pressure.
Yeah. Phil.
As soon as I give Donnie a shout out, his internet cuts out. But
oh boy,
Shaheed going to the Seahawks was a big deal too, Gov. I think that raises my interest in Sam Darnold. And obviously GSN, but I'm trying to pick who that second guy is going to be on a week-to-week basis. I don't really.
This just tells me, like, one, the coach there liked Shaheed, and I think I think Kubiak was in New Orleans and may have had a part in drafting Shaheed. So it's like, this is a wide receiver I already liked and know how to use.
Yeah.
So he might have wanted to just go get him. And this probably tells me that Kupp is a little more hurt than normal. It's like, we need someone else to go along with Torrey Horton and Cody White.
Yeah, which I think is true if Kupp is hurt. If not, I like that offense, and I think I'd want to play more Sam Darnold in DraftKings. It's just picking who that guy's going to be, like we saw with Horton on the showdown slate, this last week. I think JSN would definitely benefit from just having more weapons. Man, can you imagine playing for the Saints all year, and then you're an offensive lineman, you get traded to be with Justin Herbert's protector? That's got to feel great. They obviously need one with Joe Alt being hurt. It would be nice to see if Justin Herbert could stay upright because that'd be huge for that team as well. I actually think Brees Hall not being moved is going to be okay. I think he's a pro. He'll be fine. He'll find a way. This is the other tweet I wanted to pull up. Adam Levitan did a really good job of breaking down the trades and who he thinks it's going to benefit, basically. The winners and losers. I thought this was a pretty good breakdown. I still don't really want to play Trey Tucker in my DraftKings lineups, even if Myers is gone. I do think I take a chance on Jake Besh, who our best ball shares are going to be very happy for. And you mentioned it, Donnie, because I know Vele was one of your last round picks in best ball. That is a sneaky good one because I think you drafted him when he was still on the Denver Broncos, and now he's just going to have to be out there for the Saints. So that'll be interesting. Was there any other moves that we want to talk about before we get over to our spread picks? And
I do like seeing how Cleveland didn't trade one of their tight ends, and Tennessee didn't move. Really, Tennessee not moving Pollard or something was a little. We all thought that was going to happen. Even I feel like Tennessee probably was shipping, but no one wanted Pollard.
Yeah.
Or the price. It's still the price on running back is still too low. Apparently, what we were hearing in the grapevine is the Chiefs didn't want to give up a third for Brees. They were trying to give up a fourth, and the Jets wanted at least a third. It's a third for Brees Hall? A third?
Yeah, apparently their best offer was a fourth, and they could have had him for a fourth. The Jets declined. I think I would decline that too. I mean, you got to keep Brees Hall. He's young. You might be able to pull a Dan Campbell where it's at the end of the year, you get that team rolling, you get some confidence, and you can get.
I'd be second for him.
Yeah.
Maybe I overvalue running backs.
Exactly. I don't care if he's bitter at me. I don't care if he wants to ride the pine the rest of the year. I'm just not going to give up a talent like him that young. If all you got from me is a fourth, I even think a third is too little. But maybe. At least
the third I can understand because of the bitterness. It's he's going to be disgruntled. Right. We're going to have to be you're soft bench like Kyler now.
Yeah. Donnie, any other exciting news off this free agency that kind of piques your interest?
No.
I thought about playing maybe the Cowboys defense next week. Maybe they'd be sneaky because everyone's just seen them, get bullied, and maybe their metrics are off. So maybe you can get them at a sneaky prices, like a pay down defense. But then the Panthers are playing the Saints, and that's just really tempting. I mean, everyone knows we've been high on the Panthers all season. Donnie dropped out. He'll probably be right back with us. But he did send us a spread pick, so we can get over to them as well, Gov. But I should ask before we got on the spread pick. So there was no major win for you, right? I was able to win back some of my money, but nothing major.
I think I had one lineup that cashed. That was it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, just speaking about DraftKings real quick as we let Donnie join back in here, all my Brock Bowers teams had Vidal. I was trying to think of the running back's name. They all had Vidal, so it was just a bad mix. Oh, and then my other Brock Bowers team had Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's just one of those things
that's sort of what happened with me. I had Monungai everywhere, but then every other running back I played with him just sort of I had one team with Monungai and McCaffrey.
And Kyle did good. I did really good. And I'm like, you know what? I paid down at running back. I have a team I like. It had Brock Bowers. It had Puka. He got injured. I'm like, I don't need to go CMC this week. This is the 1 week I don't need to overpay for Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to pay down a little bit, get Jahmyr Gibbs. He can give me the rushing and receiving upside that CMC can at a slightly discounted price because I wanted to pay up a bit on defense. That was the thing this week. It was pay up on defense week. And I don't normally do that, Gov, but this is the week I'm like, you know what? I think it is a pay up on defense week. And lo and behold, this is the week that the cheap defense and the Tennessee Titans and the Falcons, who you were on, by the way, in your player pool all week, did pretty well. So you could have paid down, but for some reason I was stuck on those pay up defenses. I'll pull up the spreads. We can carry on though.
Yeah, let's look at the spreads real quick. I know I didn't do great. I believe another 500 week. But that's because of the Chargers. Damn Chargers. Or I guess I should blame the Titans.
Man, I thought Cam Ward was going to have like a pretty good rookie year. I really did. I can't even remember the teams we picked. I thought we should keep a better track of this.
Can you scroll down on that? Because we can't see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, my Panthers winning against Green Bay easily covered 12.5 with 12.5.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the Chargers just couldn't get an extra field goal, couldn't get ahead. Just did not play very well this week.
They really did not. And then the line that was probably the.
Oh, wait. Have both times we've taken the Colts, they've not covered?
I think so. Yes, sir.
That's the show pick? Oh, my God.
We also took them in week 4. Donnie just had a terrible week 9, though. He took the Lions at 8.5, minus 8.5. And I'll tell you, I think it was the worst structured game from my Detroit Lions I've seen. And maybe it's just one of those bad games like the Colts had, this week as well.
Super bad game, divisional game. Minnesota needs to pull out something.
Right. I'm not going on a rant, a full sale. Like, I hate none of that. But it was honestly one of the worst, every medicinal decision that you can make as a coach, as an offensive, I just felt like it was wrong. Even the 4th downs, where maybe they should have kicked it, maybe this isn't the time where you pull out that, aggressive fourth quarter, we're going to go for it. We take that field goal. We put the pressure on the young quarterback, and they just didn't do it. Or just, the wrong turnover at the wrong time. The last play by JJ was really an incredible throw. I have to give it to him, to Naylor, to seal that game. I mean, but if we were to replay this week, I would have said 8.5 is a pretty good set for the Lions. Because Jared Goff usually does really good against Flores and that blitz, and for some reason, he just did not. Historically, he always does good against the Vikings and Flores, and he literally looked like he couldn't move. It was very strange. So Donnie obviously missed with the Lions. He misses with the Jags, but that was just a fun, wacky game. They ended up going for 2 and winning that game, but obviously not by 3. We were high in that game environment in general. So, if anyone was watching our player pool or watching us put together a lineup, obviously we took Thomas in our lineup and Bowers. Obviously, Bowers more than covered. But Donnie was the only one who took it in the spread, but it didn't cover that 3. He almost hit that one. Donnie, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
We were talking about how we are the kiss of death to the Colts in our show pick. Every time we take the Colts, they do not cover. They look terrible. We also took them in week 4.
Well,
is that the other week they lost?
I believe it. I believe
probably.
it was. I believe it was.
When we pick the Colts as the show
We
pick,
picked the Colts as dogs. Yeah, we picked the Colts as dogs that week. So, no, I'm not taking the blame for this one. I think the blame goes to the guy who does the Colts anthem. He apologized for being a savage publicly, and I think that's what happened. You don't apologize for being a savage.
That kid drives me nuts.
Donnie, trust me.
Yeah.
We just got to take this L, dude. We got to take this L. It sucks, but we got to take this L.
I'll take the L, but that Colts kid, he drives me nuts.
Listen, the anthem's fun. I look forward to it every week. All right.
It's fun, but highly annoying. I guess it's the the Halloween spirit. Like, kids are getting
Hey,
dressed up.
he gets
fine.
more views than we could wish for. All right. So, who am I to judge?
I'll never sing that song, even if I get all the views. Speaking of just, honestly though, I'm surprised of all the things. I'm usually on a week where we get things wrong, I'm the one who gets blanked, but I actually got the 49ers right. Gov, did you take any Panthers bets personally? Because I thought that was a bad
No,
line.
I wanted to, but I didn't get any bets in on the sportsbook this week.
Yeah, I had it parlayed. It was easy. I'm like, this one's good.
I was gonna parlay it with a Rico anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I parlayed it with the Colts because I'm like, I think the Colts are going to beat the Steelers pretty handily. Guess I was wrong with that.
Rico's the one thought that I have on the week. After looking at my stuff, I'm like, at once I knew he was going to get more work. He should have moved up higher on my list, and then he would have been right there under Swift and Monungai and Chicago and CMC and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he would have been right there.
Well, we build one show on we build a lineup on the show, obviously, on Fridays. If you guys haven't tuned in and watched, you can do that and get some of Gov's and Donnie's thought process and theories. But we continue to build, Gov, and you kept saying you thought Rico was the lead guy, and then as the week went on, you're like, I think Rico could have a good day. I think you're at almost the point where it's like Rico is he's the workhorse, right?
At this point, I'm almost surprised the Panthers didn't trade Chuba during.
That's what I was thinking.
Deadline. But we
I
also
gave
him the bag, and it's hard to take on $30 million for 3 more years of Chuba.
You think if it wasn't for the money, you really got traded?
I think that's why you traded.
So
that's why you would want to trade him, is to get that money off the books, since that way you can sign Rico, who's only on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is if you were going to do it, you were going to have to move Chuba in hopes that you could re-sign Rico.
Chuba's stuff is front loaded. So as soon as we get to March, all of it. As soon as we get to March, he'll have all of his guaranteed money on that deal with 2 years left. Basically.
That's a great contract for them then.
But that's why you wouldn't want to do it. Someone else would have had to pay it if they would have traded for it this year. So to be fair, it'll be tough. We'll have a really weird period right before the draft where we'll look like we have no money. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as the March stuff hits, even if we sign Rico to something big, we'll be fine.
Now, we always say this, and I think people think it's like a logistical thing, and it somewhat is. I don't want people to copy my lineup because that's not the idea of this. We really do want to kind of work through and have a strategy, and we're trying to tell you, hey, these are what 3 DFS guys think. These are what 3 guys.
I feel bad. I thought I texted us in the Discord and told you guys, just go Tracy. Did I not tell you, just go Tracy to Kyle and leave the money?
I never got full confirmation. I know we flirted with the idea. And I know Donnie
didn't get the Swift news until after we did the show. So when we were in our Discord, I remember you guys saying that. I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I thought I said, let's do that. My bad.
And if you did, I missed it. So on the command, so those things are going to happen. But I think we did hit on a lot of things in this lineup builder show that hopefully would have helped people. This shows if you copied the lineup, obviously you didn't win. This lineup didn't get there. But I thought if you were on a lot of the same game environments and a lot of the same theories that we talked about in this lineup, you would have been good. Maybe you listened to me on Brock Bowers, because my whole point about Brock Bowers wasn't that I thought he was going to get 50. I don't want to come off cocky thinking I expected that. What I expected was a normal Brock Bowers game at a price point that didn't make sense for the superstardom that I expected him to get. And my whole point with this play was, if we wait to see a superstar performance out of him, his price will double by next week. And so I jammed him in. I wanted to play him in this lineup. And I understand why people didn't play him because they were like, I want to see it first. My point was, if you see it first, it's going to be too late, and now it will be, because I don't even know his ownership this week. I haven't looked yet, but I don't even know. Like, I don't know what they bumped him up to, but I guarantee you they bumped him up, and then the ownership's just going to flock there, after that game. So I'll probably be off of it unless it fits with my build. I thought we got very unlucky because, Donnie, I would have never played DK Metcalf, but you liked him this week. And the more and more I looked into it, because that's one of the things I find very interesting is you guys always bring like one or two names into a lineup build that I never thought of. Like, I just wouldn't have been on. And Donnie was like, oh, yeah, we should play DK. And like, it makes sense to play DK and Warren. And the more and more I looked at him, like, I like this. It just didn't hit this week.
Yeah, he didn't get his red zone targets. They didn't need to really. They had the lead the whole game. They didn't need to pass much. Truly, I don't know what the final pass attempt numbers was, but Aaron was not forced to press the game. He was forced to just be conservative, milk some clock, and get out of there.
I think we have the right to be disappointed in only 2 targets, like that.
Well, it was 2 catches. I don't know how many targets he had.
Oh yeah, it's 2 catches.
I was about to say he missed a touchdown slant. He missed something else, so it might have been like 5 or 6 targets.
He did, because when I glanced up at some point in the afternoon, I had texted Donnie because I thought he had held
only 4 targets. Wow.
Yeah.
He had another game like that this year against New England.
But that was different because I was against Christian. No, Christian wasn't there yet. So it was against, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. It was against Carlton Davis.
But to your point, Donnie,
that'd be like the ups and downs of an Arthur Smith offense. Who knows?
Yeah. But that's another point Donnie kind of hints on. I like targeting this Colts secondary. That's why they traded for Sauce Gardner. I mean, their secondary has been an easy target.
Yeah, they were not like they were right on the edge of me using wide receivers against them a lot. They weren't as bad as like Tennessee or Cincinnati or the Jets or something. Like, really, the only good part of the Jets was Sauce, and then Quignon. Like, the Jets just became like the worst defense.
Yeah, they definitely are the worst team in football now.
Like, it's been Cincy, it might now be the Jets. And you might now need to play Justin Fields just like you need to play Flacco every week, because he's just going to be in shootouts. And Fields is going to do it with his legs.
Until he gets benched.
Then you play Tyrod.
We might be playing Tyrod this week, actually.
No.
They're playing that musical chairs again, guys. They're like, oh, we don't know who we're going to start.
No. I said that, and I did play some Jacoby Brissett last night, but no.
Well, I think the biggest thing that, it was right after we basically got off that Ramondre Stevenson was ruled out. And that completely changed every one of my lineups. I played a lot of Henderson, and in the lineups I didn't play Henderson, I played the 4K Jennings. Logan and I both cashed in the showdown of the Patriots game. We both did 2 quarter lineups, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
with Crown.
Take your victory lap on the Jennings call, because people don't know you're a Patriots fan, so like you were very strong on this play, and obviously we like our teams and we believe in them, but whenever Donnie is this passionate about a player, I'm like, there's something here. Because Donnie likes the Patriots. He has a good laugh once in a while, but you were strong on Jennings getting work.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both put in parlays because of it. Like, we both won off of this. Well, not significantly, but any win's a significant win in my eyes. So, but we both entered that Jennings stuff multiple times, whether it was in a parlay or just in general.
I believe the sportsbook number that you told me was his number was like 22 or 24, and
it was 25. Yeah, I was like, that's gonna smash.
You told me and the way he said smash Gov was like, if I don't do it, it's like Thor's hammer. I'm making a huge mistake. So I'm like, you know what? Whenever Donnie's this strong, I gotta listen.
I can't even think about that. Ramondre got ruled out. Swift got ruled out. I lost in my guillotine league because I had no running backs to start. Except for Kamara,
You know why I didn't push the Kyle, putting Kyle in this one? Because I mentioned it to you guys and I didn't get a full confirmation. But I'm like, you know what? Last week I played 100% Robinson, and I just think that was a mistake. Like I should have found a way to not have a lineup. So I'm like, I'm going to play 100% Kyle outside of this lineup. So let this be like the one outlier lineup that might actually work. And then obviously, I think Singletary outsnapped Tracy to get back to our lineup. And I think it's fair to say that Tracy might be a fun utility guy. Maybe he's more of like a theoretic because he used to be a former wide receiver. I think at this point I can pretty much say he's not a full-time running back. We've seen enough of a sample size to say I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah, Singletary did outsnap him this week, but in week 8, Tracy outsnapped Singletary like significantly. So I wonder if Tracy just had a nick-up injury this week.
He could have,
but they definitely.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad play, Donnie. But I think I was playing him in this lineup, given the idea he was the workhorse, or he was going to, excel and take that Cam Scudero kind of role, and he did not.
Yeah, let's not forget Tracy was the workhorse week 1 for the Giants this year. I know it's week 1 and week 9 are super different, obviously, but like Tracy was without Scudero being the guy, was the guy.
Yeah.
It shifted very, very quickly, to be fair. Yes, but that shifted very quickly. I don't think Singletary is going to be like 50-50ing it. I can't imagine. I think game script matters.
I think both of those guys can do a lot of the same stuff, and it might be 50-50.
But this lineup still would have hurt, though, right, Gov? Because even if it would have min cash for like Kyle, I don't even know if it would have. I think it might have, because I think Kyle might have had like 25 or 27.
Well, it looks like the min cash line was like 157, 158. So that means you needed 20 points, and Kyle gets you 20 points over Tracy.
Yeah.
So I think just playing Kyle probably cashes this.
But how many?
I do want to say the biggest news for like if we're talking Giants period, the biggest thing I want to mention is Ray McLeod played almost every snap this week in his first game with the Giants.
Interesting.
So that is something that I want to pay attention to at least. I don't think I'll play it, but it's something to note.
It's a good call out because that's what we try to do with this show. We're not only just reviewing the lineup, we're actually trying to look at the actionable stuff that we can use for the next week.
I was about to say, let's look at the winning lineup real quick. Always like to look at the winning lineup to see how was it built. Was there any correlation? Not so much like who was the guys who went off this week. We all know that.
Oh, there was just the game stack. The full onslaught of that Bears game. Okay.
Yep, Caleb, Manungai, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And Higgins on the bring back. So, a double bring back. Very solid correlation there. You won off McCaffrey. You didn't correlate him, but he was great. You won off Michael Pittman. Again, no correlation. He was fine. Wow.
Won off of Bauer.
Bowers is your tight end. You had the money to pay up, and then
your cheap chalky running back.
And look,
another cheap chalky running back. Yeah.
You know you're running good.
You even paid up and got a crap defense.
Yeah. That's just what I was gonna say. You're running good when you can pay up for a defense, only get 4 points, and still take down a tournament. Not only that, but he had Henderson, who was in a 1 o'clock slate. And he did not take care of his PMR and leave that flex open. That sounds silly.
Hold on, who's his PMR? He had one player who was PMR.
I'm so used to Christian McCaffrey being in the late slate. It just San Francisco.
Right, San Fran, but no, they were in New York. No, his only PMR was Bowers.
You're right.
I want to say as well, it's funny to me that the 4K defense this week scored less than the 4K running back of the week with Jennings.
It is.
That's just such a crazy. I don't understand how that wasn't higher on than it was.
I do believe the Tennessee Titans were the highest defense this week. You could have played.
The highest scoring defense, yes.
Right.
What was their price?
Like 2,100 or something.
2,100. They were just off the minimum.
Oh no! That's disgusting.
This was my highest personal, just so you guys know. So between the sportsbook bets, the parlays we talked about, it was a slightly profitable week. Last week was not a profitable week, so I'm still my overall ROI on the season is up, but the last 2 weeks have been a losing week. I was able to get some money back this week. But I like some of the lineups we've been building. Was there anything from that winning lineup, and I can go back to it, that you guys liked or thought you could maybe use for next week? Like any?
What in the hell kind of lineup did you build, Logan?
Oh, that 164. You want to go back to it? We can do that.
Huh? I see what, one piece of correlation? You have the Giants defense with Tracy, your running back defense correlation?
Yeah.
The not running quarterback in Trevor Lawrence by himself.
Naked T-Law.
No.
You were in naked sunshine.
I told you I like that game.
With double cheap running back, correlating one with the defense.
Yeah.
You played all three cheap running backs, actually, because you got Hunt in there, too.
I told you
what kills me. What
you
kills me is that
mini stack of Hunt and Worthy.
Yeah,
And then
what
you
kills
just
me
jammed in
most,
two random high-priced wide receivers in Brown and Puka.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, what kills me the most about this lineup is not only did he naked T-Law, but T-Law got 2 rush touchdowns and no pass touchdowns this week.
First of all, T-Law has been
T-Law
rushing
has
a lot.
legs, man.
Yeah, Trevor has been running a lot more this year. That's why I was
He
comfortable.
runs a lot in the red zone. He doesn't run a lot, but when he does, it's in the red zone usually.
And he does it in competitive
Runs
games.
Sort of.
I thought that game was going to be competitive. I love that game environment. I was like, I got to find a way to play this game environment one more time. It was the last lineup I built of the week, and I'm like, I want to play Puka. He's not being respected this week. Everyone's thinking they don't need to pay up for him. I think he's probably the number one wide receiver in the entire league this year. I was like, I got to find a way to get Puka. And St. Brown just kills the Vikings, and I expected like 30 points from St. Brown. So I'm like, you know what? This is the way to do it. Just play the cheap running backs. I can then pay up for the wide receivers that no one else will be able to afford. No one will build the Brock Bowers, Trevor Lawrence the way I did. I was right about that, and that's how it happened.
See, I actually do like how it turned out, obviously, but I don't get how you got to Tracy, Monangai, and Hunt, and you just didn't want to go play Henderson at all. Like you went floor running back.
I had Henderson because of you telling me about Jennings. Henderson was my lowest on the scale of all the cheap.
I agree, 100%. Now you convinced me that Henderson wasn't that valuable because you were so high on Jennings.
I don't know what Henderson finished with, but I know he got a lot of work in the pass game, and his running game did look pretty.
Finished with like 11 points.
Yeah, he was.
So he was about the same as Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, but wow, Jennings and Henderson put the same amount. Let me see what the snap count was, but I felt like it was pretty much 50-50.
I can't tell you that, but
it felt like it was 50-50. It was 75-25. Henderson was on the field every play, basically.
The one thing that surprised me that we might have got lucky with is he got 6 targets as a receiver. He didn't do much with those yardage. So, like, if that receiver...
He actually almost broke one. He almost broke one for the touchdown. So,
I was going to say, if
like,
that receiving work holds up, that he could be a play in the future.
Yeah. If Mondre misses, he's definitely a guy I want to get back to. But Jennings had 11 carries on only 17 snaps. So, yeah. I mean,
we ran good.
That was.
They brought him out to run and spell Henderson.
any short yardage situation, he was in there basically.
I
knew he would be the goal line back. I knew he was going to be the goal line back.
Yeah, he was a sneaky play. He was your conviction play. That's kind of why I backed it, because I knew I could get it in the sports book. I think that magic is gone from him, essentially, where I think they'll now price him at a point where he's not valuable. Like,
I think like on Showdown on Thursday when they play the Jets, he'll be instead of being 600 in the Showdown, he'll now be 2,200, and it won't be worth playing.
Exactly the kind of the point I was making. Was there anything
It's
else?
not this Thursday they play. It's next Thursday.
No, go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just saying it's not this Thursday they play, but the next Thursday.
The next one.
This Thursday it's the Raiders and the Broncos.
It's Raiders Broncos this week. Brock Bowers is going to be like jammed in so many lineups.
Yeah, Powers. I'm so glad he's not on the regular slate. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to have to deal with it. Like, people are gonna captain Bowers probably 15% in that game.
I'm going to play
You
him.
have Captain Bo Nix. He's going to have 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm going to play Brock Bowers in the flex, but I will not captain him. I just don't think there'll be – it won't be sneaky. I think it's going to be one of my stands. Was there anything that you noticed that might have went under the radar this week?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that went under the radar that people haven't really, I've not heard a word spoken about is Booty did hurt his hamstring, so now the wide receiver room with the Patriots is open.
Yeah.
You hurt his booty?
For the cheap guy. Yeah, pretty much. So, but I will be as updated as possible because apparently he has a Discord server where he's leaking his injury information. So I joined this Discord server to see if I could get any good sportsbook jump before the sportsbooks.
You should try to play Madden with him.
Look at all this young people stuff, Gov. I'm an old man now. I don't have the energy to join athletes' Discord servers.
It's only for the purpose of the sportsbook. Andy has
There are like
Drake
20 other Discords, so like I'm fine. I'm not against.
Yeah, I will never look at it. I only have it in case Booty posts something about his injury.
How many
That's
Twitch
the only
streamers am I
channel.
in their Discord? Then I barely watch their Twitch stream.
Yeah. I appreciate the grind. It's just I have to cut the line somewhere.
Well, listen, I need to check on my Booty.
That is a good call. And Donnie, we have a lot of Kyle Williams in best ball. Is there a chance we get some Kyle Williams?
No.
It's
No.
all Douglas?
It's pretty much all going to be Pop. Douglas is going to be the deep threat guy. I mean, he's shown that he is already a deep threat. They're just going to continue to just propel that role at this point, I think.
No, Gov,
I regret, my biggest regret was not playing him this weekend, because if I would have heard the news that his uncle had passed away this past weekend and he was kind of dedicating the game to him, I would have played more of him. I honestly would have.
Narratives have mattered this year. They really have, especially those personal ones, like we thought with David Montgomery.
Well, the guys probably wanted to get him a touchdown too, where like that's just a thing that Rabel and the guys probably wanted to do.
Yeah, even like a field goal, a field good one, like with David Montgomery. Like I really do believe in some of those narratives. Now, Gov, I want to mention on our way out here, you don't like us talking about best ball too early, but we do have a lot of Jack Best stock, and the Myers trade does help. And so I'll be careful. I'm just saying that Donnie,
I have my Vele one that I'm victory lapping right now. I don't need to talk about my Raider stock.
You do have some Raider stock too. Are you excited about Jack Best or not?
I don't care which one it is, as long as it's one. I don't want it to be like divided. I just want it to be one. To be honest,
It's true. He took off the Halloween costume. We run out pushing too much.
I just hope it's not Tyler Lockett. Dear God, please no more Tyler Lockett.
Donnie, you might forget we actually have some Tyler Lockett best ball.
No. Now. Best ball. Off.
With that being said, I go call it a night.
Peace out, everyone. Good Lord.
Peace out. See you. Good night. Wow. I couldn't even end the stream. Let me try that again.